demonstrating that. When you take a knee, you're demonstrating your love for this nation too. But you're not willing for this nation to go and continue with the toxic and infectious disease of racism and nullification. So they are demonstrating and you are demonstrating. But the players who stand with their hand across their chest, they are not penalized for their demonstration. Because if it is about demonstration, you are demonstrating your love probably to a great degree in this country. Because you see that your country or this nation is in danger. And if we don't deal with the toxicity of racism, this country is headed for a catastrophic end. It cannot continue as is. So when you take that lead, you are demonstrating. So my question would be, please forgive me, I'm a preacher too. Are you still being penalized for taking that lead?
Like you said, we daily is to better what I believe. And not saying that when they stand that they are honoring it and they're just saying that, you know, the United States of America is all right where it is. You know, I want better, right? But as you said, am I still penalized for it? Yes, I'm still penalized for it. I still have to sit out. For certain, during games. And as of right now, they haven't told me otherwise what will happen to me.
That's unacceptable.
It is.
And all this that is not on you now. It is on this community to allow you to be penalized for exercising your First Amendment rights and also demonstrate your passion for this country in an open forum. And nobody should be able to demonstrate. You all can demonstrate or no one can demonstrate.
Right.
Yeah, as an individual, you have a right to express your passion. Because I see others with their hands across their chest, others take their caps off. However, demonstration is, when we demonstrate at the game, then we can all demonstrate. So I would say to this august body that the onus of responsibility is not on these young men. It is upon us that is around in this community that is looking at this as some kind of theatrical production. And we cannot be spectators. Because to be a spectator, we are complicit, part and parcel to the problem. Either we're going to be people that are solution-oriented, or we're going to be spectators. So I would like to make that commitment on my behalf, personally, that continued punishment of not starting a game is unacceptable.
I'm so humbled by what you're doing. I'm so sad and I feel so hurt by what's happening here. And I just want to speak from my personal experience, and I speak as someone who went to Catholic school for 12 years. I was baptized and raised Catholic by a mother who converted, and converts are sometimes the most Catholic of all, and she even converted her mother, who was Presbyterian. But then I had the great honor and privilege of going to a law school where I worked for a Jesuit priest and the dean of a law school and served in Congress, and who was a canon lawyer. And who knew about how the church was governed, and he knew about the doctrines of the church. And I spent 2 years with him every day, and I talked with him a lot. And I can tell you that I am personally committed to making certain that the Catholic Church accounts for itself. And I can't take the lawyer out of me or the Catholic school student out of me, because I wear both hats. So the first part of me is outraged that there's racial discrimination that's unremedied in a school that takes federal funds. And I know, as a former state Supreme Court clerk, as a former federal appeals court clerk, I know it's illegal. And I'm wondering why the Catholic Church thinks they can engage in illegal conduct. That's my first question. And then my second question is, I'm absolutely convinced that the church has the right, because of the separation of church and state, to make you lose certain First Amendment rights at the door because it's part of the church's mission to be separate and to have certain religious doctrines that they enforce. However, They only have the right to have you forfeit your First Amendment rights if the thing that they're asking you to do and disciplining you for not doing is religious and within the doctrine of authority given to the bishops to enforce it, within the ecclesiastical authority of the bishop. And the bishop controls the schools. So the bishop not speaking to this is always the wrong answer. So what did I do? I looked around the country and I found the majority of bishops don't take this stance. Then I called the chaplain at Georgetown Law School, who was at our wedding ceremony. I was married by a Jewish rabbi. I married a Jew, and I'm in a Jewish synagogue. But Father Alexei Mikolenko, who ran the Catholic seminary, said that the bishop is outside of his ecclesiastical authority to take the view that Catholic teaching requires you to have a certain sign of respect for the national flag. Because you render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and you render unto God what is God's. So the wheels have come off and there's a fundamental error on the part of the bishop. So then I called the leading scholar of religion over at MSU Law School who wrote the casebook, and I talked to him. Now, he stands up in front of whole rooms full of Catholic bishops. He thinks that this discussion about this problem wouldn't survive in a group of bishops. That Bishop Boyer would be found to have committed this fundamental error. And that the Archbishop and the discussion at that level would solve this problem. And I think morally it's bankrupt, because if he doesn't get this right, he doesn't get the most central thing that I learned about being Christian right. Because this is an act of conscience. So my ask is to have this discussion with the bishop, with other bishops.
We would love to, but we can't get him to respond to a single message phone and to build some kind of an action that will create some kind of response. Because we have, like Ravana said, we emailed, bishops and archbishops and task force and like every Catholic that we think might have power to address this issue, and we have been pointed straight back to the diocese who won't respond to us. And so for us, we have a policy at the school that our kids can't kneel during the Pledge of Allegiance. There are 100 kids in that school. Who the hell even cares? No one's gonna see them. And they are gonna be kicked out of school if they kneel. So I would love to have that conversation. I would love to figure out how to get the bishop to speak to us, but we just haven't.
And one last thing for your first question. Lansing Catholic does not get federal funding.
It does for special ed. My sister was a special ed teacher in Flint for 21 years. And every Catholic school gets special ed funding. They are covered, and if a complaint goes to the federal government, it would be investigated. And this can't be allowed to happen in Catholic schools.
They also get funding for school lunches sometimes.
Yes, they get federal funding. They can't discriminate, and this was litigated numerous times. And there's a former head of the Civil Rights Division at the United States Department of Justice, is a professor at the University of Michigan. His name is Sam Bagenstos, and a friend of mine worked under him as the top disability lawyer. You can get a straight answer very quickly from Sam, and I will have him talk to you, because they can't get away with this because they're covered because they take federal money.
We have which is, I haven't heard anything about what the relationship is with the school and its actual nearby community. Now, I am a neighbor of the school, and I drove far away to an area that I'm not familiar with to come here to this gathering. But I haven't heard anything about what the relationship is with that school, what they think the relationship is between that school and its neighboring community, and why they think that this is acceptable.
That's why we have you guys here.
In how we want to live and how we want to interact. And so a religious organization that's in my community that treats its young black men in this way does not get my support. And I can't imagine that they don't care.
So that's why we have you all here, and I think that's why I continue to talk to the media, is because I don't think that the people living on the east side of town in between Michigan Avenue and Saginaw do know this. I don't think the people living in between Marshall and Pennsylvania understand that this school, rooted right in behind Eastern, and all this middle-class area that has diversity, that has different types of people, understand. So This is why we have you all here, and this is why we want the media to talk about this, because they're sitting there in their little comfortable ball. They might as well have a big 10-foot gate up around the place, because that's how they act, as if the world doesn't matter. But I think a lot of the reason is because you don't donate to that school. They're pleasing their donors. The people that are giving them the money to build their stadiums, and their names are all on them, to build their new gym, that's the people who are going with the agenda of taking a knee, is disrespecting the flag, and that's why we're in the position we're in.
Woods, we'd sit and talk for 15 minutes, and he started telling me about the problems that Michael was going through, and tears started running down my face, and I thought, I really failed him. I grew up in the 40s and 50s. I was living in Detroit during the riots, stayed with my cousin, which was a podiatrist. We had a tank sitting outside his doctor's office, scared the hell out of me. I'm from Grand Rapids. I ended up going back home to Grand Rapids. I was scared to death. I think the problem that most of people have is kind of like out of sight, out of mind, because I had that problem. I watched TV, I watched the news, I watched all minorities being dogs sicked on them, hoses turned on them, being beaten by police, and it didn't bother me that much because it wasn't affecting me. And even the people that lived in the South, when they got tired of it, they just moved to the North to get away from it. But they didn't solve the problem. And the problem went on. And I look at it today and I think if I would have had the guts that my grandson had to get up and do something and say something, maybe he wouldn't be going through this today. So I want to apologize to all these young men, all the people that are dealing with this every day. And if the worst thing they look at is taking a knee, it's not that bad. You know, I just want to point out something. People are saying all kinds of things about taking a knee. Kaepernick took a knee in 2016. It was in August of 2016. Nobody said a crap about him disrespecting the flag until somebody that did have a platform said, he's disrespecting the flag, he's disrespecting the soldiers. I'm a vet from the Air Force, Vietnam's era. And I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it because he told me why he was doing this. And that's what I listened to. I didn't listen to some guy get on TV and tell me, oh, it's not what he's saying. Yeah, he's being discriminated against. We're not looking at that. He took a knee, disrespecting the flag. You know, and that's what people are looking at. I went on Facebook. I don't get on anymore because I was so teed off looking at things that people had to say, just ignorant things. Yeah. Some girl got on there and said, black people are always saying they're discriminated against. Maybe it's them that are racist. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah. You know, if you're not me, you can't tell me how I feel. And that's a problem I'm seeing every day. People are saying, well, you shouldn't be upset about that. How can you tell me what you're upset about? If I'm called an N-word, that upsets me. I've got a friend that's 81 years old, he's a white gentleman. I've known him for 47 years. We were together having dinner a couple of weeks ago. He took me to Grand Ledge to his cousin's house. He said, I want you to meet my cousin. She's 87 years old. And he starts telling her, he says, you know, Michael's got a grandson who's going to Catholic Central, and he's been called the N-word, he's been called a gorilla, and stuff like that. And she looked at him and said, well, what did you expect? That came from an 87-year-old woman. And she was just nice as heck, but she says, you know, you shouldn't have expected that going to that school. We were in Atlanta. I'm here, 1 second. We were in Atlanta, Martin Luther King Jr.'s memorial and so on. And it reminded me of all the fights that he did, and he ended up dead. John Kennedy dead, Robert Kennedy dead. Everybody that tried to do what they're doing right now ended up dead because people didn't want to hear it. It's got to change. You know, this happened 50 years ago, and it's just as bad today.
Thank you.
Two more questions up here, and right before we get to those questions, I want to open up. I want to see if there are any board members or anybody that's from Lansing Catholic that would like to make sure that their voice is heard at this time, if they feel as though they have anything that they